Millsaps College is a serene campus during the day, with a beautiful bowl, serene flower gardens, and of course, porch sitting. But the nighttime is another story. There is tell of an extra presence lurking on campus. Rumor has it that Millsaps is inhabited by ghosts, and they reside here in the Millsaps College Christian Center.
I believe in ghosts, absolutely.
I don't really know if I believe in ghosts. I'm a skeptic. I've always been skeptical about them, but just by hearing different stories about people in different situations, they've kind of led me to believe it, I guess.
Logically, I don't, it's hard for me to commit to that idea.
I really don't have very strong opinions about whether or not ghosts exist.
I believe that ghosts exist. I don't think there's any reason to believe that they don't.
I'm just not convinced that Frank really exists.
Frank is the Christian Center ghost. In his memoir Mississippi Sissy, Kevin Sessoms talks about Frank. Frank the Ghost is actually based off of a real person. His name is Frank Woodruff Hains Jr. And he didn't go to college here, and he's not originally from Mississippi, but in the 70s he was living in Jackson. He was a reporter for the Jackson Daily News, and he was really involved in the community. He, I believe, was one of the founders for New Stage Theater, and he was also really involved with the Millsaps College Theater Department. At the time of his death, he was friends with one of the students here on campus, and his house was actually across from the Jewish cemetery, which is right outside the south gate to campus. So he is based off of a real person. So different rumors say, that Frank was a janitor working at the college and he was murdered on the stage, but in reality he was just murdered in his home, which was right outside of campus. Is Frank the one lurking the halls of the Christian Center? Some students share their stories.
A bunch of my friends and I had been hanging out, and we just decided that we wanted to have a seance, and it was perfect timing because it was almost midnight, which we figured added some validity or some spookiness to it. So we all went into the Christian Center. It was completely dark, and I started to get really scared, and I actually got wigged out and left.
We all kind of meditated for a second almost, and just kind of cleared our heads so that this would go better. So we asked if there was anyone else there, and we waited a little while, and then eventually it went over yes. We asked what the person's name was, and it was some really strange combination of letters. Started with an I. We asked if it was American Indian, said yes. We asked when it died, and it said in 1863. We asked if it was killed on campus, and it said yes. We asked was, do you have anything else to say? And it said, it went over no, and then the thing just darted off the board. So we were all freaked out when we just got up and left. I was very skeptical, and toward the end I was very nervous. I was very kind of scared. So the candle, salt and pepper, I think olive oil too. We didn't have salt and pepper, so we used Tony Chachere's seasoning as a replacement. So I remember placing that, making a circle around you, because apparently that protects you from the ghosts. We talked to him numerous times, said, Frank, if there is something, if you are here, please show us, show yourself in any way, shape, or form. There's no sign that there was a presence there, but you could almost feel that there was something other than the people there. I was scared, I was terrified. This was my first run-in with a ghost, my first seance ever, and I had no clue what to expect. As far as seances go for me, my experiences come from films, so seeing movies like Paranormal Activity and things like that freak the hell out of me.
I was studying in the Christian Center the night before an exam. All of a sudden there was just this stir in the hallway, and these footsteps rushed past, and I looked up because I'm thinking that it's a security guard or a professor or something, and I'm watching the door so that I can address this person when they address me, but This man that was walking in the hall just walks straight back by and doesn't acknowledge us at all, even though we're the only light turned on in the building. He looked about like late 30s at the youngest, probably in his 40s. He didn't have any facial hair, Caucasian male, kind of a soft face, not really skinny, but not fat either, like 5'10". He looked kind of formal. He had pants on and like a long sleeve, kind of maybe like a blousey button-down men's shirt. And he had short, kind of like well-kept dark hair. You would think a living person would, I mean, even just glancing, even if they're not going to say anything to us, like, it was just real strange.
Anyways, someone told us about the ghost in the Christian Center, and I never heard of it before, and I guess all the time I've been at Millsaps, and we were talking about it one night at the fraternity house inside, like that would be, clearly that would be a splendid idea if we held a seance. But we all sat in a circle, we had the candle, I think there were maybe about 5 or 6 of us, and then we held hands and took turns trying to invoke this ghost. We were supposed to concentrate and like kind of meditate on the idea. I kept hearing weird noises that were like from the building settling, or I mean nothing that you wouldn't expect to hear in a building late at night, but everyone finally got a little creeped out, and then we left. I think I was mostly indifferent because I don't like derive any pleasure from being afraid.
I wasn't really paying attention at all. I had my headphones in. I was just kind of in my head. I don't even remember why I looked up at Claire, but she was just sitting there, kind of like had a weird expression on her face, and there was a weird feeling in there. And then on the way out, it just felt like the building, the Christian Center, just felt ominous. It was just a really looming, strange feeling.
We may never know if there is something behind these walls, lurking in the hallways. But there's another question. Should we be afraid?
I'm thinking about the ghost that I think is inhabiting my closet, and I'm not scared of that one anymore. Under other circumstances, yeah, I think I am a little bit afraid of ghosts.
So much more knowledge of ghosts comes from movies and TV shows, so it's kind of tough to, I think that they would probably be on the side of bad, though.
I think ghosts are like people. I think that they all have a good inside them, and I think ghosts are here to accomplish something that they couldn't finish in their mortal life. I think that they are willing to do whatever it takes to accomplish that. I like to think that they're just like people and they still feel things and they still can judge good and bad. However, some determine what's good and what's bad, not as well as others.
I don't know if ghosts are good or bad. I doubt they're either. I mean, they exist, and I don't think they could like play any hands like in living life, you know. I don't think they could do anything good or bad. They could just maybe scare people, but that's our own problem, I guess.
I don't think that we know what the story is. I think it's just kind of there for us to wonder at and to hold drunken seances with.
I feel like it's just a lingering existence, and maybe it's there to signal something, perhaps, but I don't think it's necessarily good or bad.
And thus, the ghost stories of Millsaps College remain a mystery.